Drew, thank you. And thank you to the band. These guys are fabulous. Thanks, you guys. Great job. Great job. Wonderful. Alex and Drew, and the whole host committee, thank you so much for being here tonight, for coming, for bringing friends. It means the world to me. Our campaign is off to a fabulous start. I do feel like that old joke about the guy that walked into the bar and found some people playing poker, and there was a dog playing poker with them. And so the guy said to the bartender, "What? You know, there's a dog over there playing poker." He said, "Yeah, he plays all the time." He said, "Well, is he any good?" He says, "No, he's really not any good." "Well, why not?" "Well, every time he gets a good hand, he starts wagging his tail." And I'm sort of feeling like I got a good hand these days. I'm looking a little too buoyant, a little too excited. When I heard the news that Alex just mentioned, and that is that after months of competing, I've been in South Carolina. We had straw polls in South Carolina already, and I've had, I think, 18 where I or others of my staff went different counties. We had straw polls, and Mayor Giuliani was there, and the McCain surrogate was there, and I was there, and Governor Huckabee, and so forth, all there. And I won almost all of those 18. Then we went out to Iowa. We've been working Iowa hard. Last time I was there was with Mayor Giuliani and Senator McCain, all speaking. To have those two guys pull out gives me about as good a boost as I could possibly imagine. But nothing compares with how well we're doing tonight. You guys are fabulous for being here. I didn't expect to be doing this in my life. It's just a testament to how unpredictable life is. I mentioned to Ann and I met in high school, and we've been in love ever since. Are still in love, of course. And I said to Ann, "Sweetheart, in your wildest dreams, did you see me running for President of the United States?" And she said, "Mitt, you weren't in my wildest dreams." So I'm reminded of my shortcomings. That happened throughout my career. I heard, Drew talked about, it wasn't exactly correct with all the stories there about my background, but I went to work at the beginning of my career in a consulting firm. And it's kind of a strange thing to get a degree, to know virtually nothing practical, and to be hired out by your firm at about 5 times multiple of your salary to somebody to give them advice. And you think you're going to, and it's like, you have to kind of hold your breath like you know something that you're going to be able to sell to them. And I remember one of my first assignments was with the Morgan Knitting Mills. They make long underwear. And John Morgan had hired me to come out, or hired my firm. He didn't know he was getting me. He hired my firm, Bain & Company, to come out and give some advice to improve the company, make it more profitable so they could sell it. And I came in with a junior guy with me. And I sat down on his sofa. He was reading his papers. And then he looked up from the papers. And he looked with shock. He put both hands in the air. This guy's about 6'5". Both hands in the air. He said, "Men! Men! I needed men and they sent me boys." And so my career has been reminded of the challenges you face when you're not feeling like you're up to the capacity to deal with all that you've got in front of you. But I found a pathway. I found a model. And I think it was Alex who mentioned how to get there, how you overcome very improbable circumstances and situations. One is get great people to work with you. Hire a fabulous team. Number 2 is don't just ask them their opinion. Get data. Insist on good, hard data before you make your decisions, and do analysis and do comparisons. Number 3 is set a strategy, and number 4 is to benchmark the strategy to see how it's working. And that's what I did throughout my career, and it made a huge difference, and I applied that technology in government, and it's working there as well. Now, I've had some fun the last few days with the debates. We've had 3 debates, and so far they've gone well. I've been real pleased. The last one I was able to distinguish my position on immigration from that of Senator McCain. I think he's digging a deeper and deeper hole for himself. McCain-Feingold was bad enough. Voting against the Bush tax cuts was even worse. But then I think the immigration bill has really been tough for him, and so I'm pleased on his behalf to have him go off and do his thing, because I think this is going to be tough for him going forward. But I was also pleased to talk about the principles that I think will allow the Republican Party to have a great future. And the principles of a strong national defense, strong military, strong economy, and strong families. And I noted in the Democratic debate, they talk about defense, and it was really shocking. Did you watch that? Have you heard John Edwards saying there's no war on terror? There's no war on terror, it's just a bumper sticker? Think about that. I mean, has he seen what's happening in Indonesia and Thailand and Pakistan and Nigeria and Egypt? Has he been to Saudi Arabia? Does he see what's happened in Tanzania and Kenya? Does he understand what happened in Madrid and London? There's no global war on terror. I mean, I think the American people know that if the terrorists are going to be waging a war on us, a Republican is going to be waging a war on them. And this... This is a lot broader than Iraq, and Iraq is going to come to a conclusion, I believe, in a matter of months. We're going to know how the surge is working. It's not going to be going on forever. I'm sure hopeful that this is going to be a successful conclusion, but one thing is sure, and that is that we will be strong when it comes to building our military and having the strength necessary to protect our rights and our values. It tells you something, by the way. I mean, as you look at that debate, of all the Democratic candidates, the one who seemed closest to being realistic, not entirely realistic, but closest to being realistic, was Hillary Clinton. That's the most centrist member of the Democratic Party running for president. It's really extraordinary what's happened to that party. And then you turn to the economy, and there, of course, she takes an even greater left turn than the other members of the stage in many cases. You perhaps saw her speech. She indicated that we're going to have a society that's devoted to fairness. We're going to be fair now. This idea of every person for themselves, that's wrong. You know, the whole Adam Smith thing, that doesn't work. Instead we should have a fair society where we raise taxes on corporations, raise taxes on wealthy people so we can be more fair. And I thought to myself, that platform wouldn't win in France anymore, let alone this country. They're moving our way, she's moving their way. We'll be strong on our economy. I'm excited about the prospects going forward because we are a party that has answers and perspectives for the future that will make us a leading party. We'll draw on the positive energy and faith of the American people. We fundamentally believe that America's future is brighter than our past. In my opinion, the reason I think that flows from something you may have heard it during the debate, but something I said then, which is there have always been frontiers for America. If you don't have frontiers to conquer, then the growth rate of your economy is going to be about the same as the growth rate of your population. And that's about 1% or so. And if you're looking for a real slow growth economy, just grow at 1% a year. Why do we grow faster? Well, we grow faster because we conquer new opportunities. In the 19th century, it was the American West. We conquered the West and grew. The 20th century, following the Marshall Plan, it was Europe and Latin America as we grew and exchanged products with them. In the 21st century, in my view, the new frontier economically for America is Asia. And the people there, we had 1 billion people who come into the workforce in Asia. Now we're going to have 1 billion new consumers coming into the world marketplace. We can sell them medical products, medical devices, software, hardware. We can sell them patents of various kinds for drugs. We're going to sell them entertainment. We have all sorts of opportunities to continue to grow America's vitality. And the Democrats remarkably want to pull the drawbridge up. They said we can't compete. We got to put tariffs up. We got to do whatever we can to stop from competing. Instead, we're looking at it and saying, this is the opportunity of the entire 21st century. We can compete. We can win. We'll improve our schools. We'll improve our investments in technology. We'll make it easier for businesses to compete. And America's future is bright indeed because we believe in a strong military, a strong economy, and strong families. I want to say thanks.